Do you ever find yourself standing by the window in the morning, much like this one, with a fresh cup of tea in hand, and you look out at the world starting its day, and a wave of something unexpected washes over you? It's not sadness, not exactly. It's more of a restlessness. A quiet frustration you can't quite put your finger on. Maybe it's the little things. The remote control isn't where you left it. The toaster oven seems to have a personal grudge against your breakfast. Or perhaps it's a deeper feeling, a short fuse you never had before, a flash of anger that feels, well, out of character. If you've ever felt a bit grumpy, a bit more irritable than you used to be, and then felt a little guilty about it afterward, I want you to take a deep breath. You are not alone in this feeling, not by a long shot. This chapter of our lives, this life after work, is a tremendous transition. We've spent decades with our days structured, our identities often tied to what we did for a living. And now, the rhythm has changed. It's no wonder that sometimes we feel a little out of tune. Today, we're going to have a gentle conversation about this very topic. We'll explore why we might feel more irritable or quicker to anger in our later years. This isn't about blaming ourselves or labeling ourselves as grumpy. It's about understanding. It's for all of us navigating this new chapter, seeking to do so with grace, peace, and a sense of joy. Together, we'll gently look at the why behind these feelings, and then we'll explore some simple, practical things we can do to brighten our days and soften our spirits. This is a journey of discovery, and I'm so glad we're taking it together. A quick and important thought before we begin. As always, our chat today is for sharing ideas and information. It's so important to continue speaking with your own doctor or a trusted therapist for personal medical advice. They are your best partners in health, and this conversation is meant to support, not replace, their guidance. A look at our minds and bodies. So let's start with the big question. Why does this happen? Why do we sometimes feel like a pot simmering on the stove, ready to boil over at the slightest thing? The truth is, it's rarely just one thing. It's a mix of what's happening in our bodies, our minds, and our daily lives. First, let's talk about our bodies. As we age, our physical landscape changes. Many of us live with chronic pain from conditions like arthritis, which can create a constant, low-level frustration. It's hard to be sunny when your joints are forecasting rain. Our hearing and vision might not be as sharp, which can make simple conversations or tasks feel overwhelming, leading to irritation. Furthermore, hormonal shifts, which we often associate with younger years, continue to play a role. For men, testosterone levels can decrease, and for women, estrogen changes can affect mood, sometimes leading to what feels like unprovoked irritability. Then there are the medications we might be taking. While incredibly helpful, some can have side effects that impact our mood. It's always a good idea to chat with your doctor if you notice a significant mood shift after starting a new prescription. Now let's talk about the brain. Our brains are truly remarkable. They have an incredible ability to adapt and create new pathways throughout our lives, a process called neuroplasticity. This means our brains can learn and change, even in our senior years. However, aging can also impact the parts of the brain that help us regulate our emotions. Think about our body's stress response. We all have a hormone called cortisol. You can think of cortisol like the body's alarm bell. It's helpful when there's a real emergency, giving you a burst of energy. But if that alarm bell is ringing all day long because of chronic pain, worry, or loneliness, it wears us down. Studies show that practices which lower cortisol, like gentle exercise or being in nature, can have a profound effect on our sense of calm. Beyond the physical, the emotional transition of retirement is immense. For many of us, our job was a huge part of our identity. It gave us a routine, a social circle, and a sense of purpose. Suddenly, that structure is gone. This can lead to what psychologists call an identity crisis. A 2021 study in the Gerontologist found that a significant number of retirees experienced a disruption to their identity in the first year after leaving work. Feelings of loneliness and social isolation are also powerful drivers of mood changes. Research from the National Institute on Aging has linked social isolation to a higher risk for a range of health issues, including anxiety and depression. When we feel disconnected, it's natural to feel more on edge. It turns out many of us feel a bit adrift after retiring. So if that's you, you are in very good company. Understanding these factors isn't about making excuses. It's about having compassion for ourselves. It allows us to say, I see. My back has been bothering me all week, and I haven't spoken to a friend in a few days. It's no wonder I'm feeling a bit prickly. That self-awareness is the first most crucial step toward feeling better. Practical wisdom and daily practices. Now that we've gently explored the why, let's talk about the how. How can we navigate these feelings and cultivate a more peaceful state of mind? It's not about a magical fix, but about incorporating small, gentle habits into our days. These are simply ideas to try, little experiments in well-being. Idea number 1, the 5-minute mindful moment. What it is. This is a simple practice of pausing and paying attention to your breath for just a few minutes. It's not about emptying your mind, but simply noticing your thoughts without judgment. The gentle science. Mindfulness has been shown to be a powerful tool for seniors. Research has demonstrated it can reduce stress, anxiety, and even symptoms of depression. When you focus on your breath, you activate the body's relaxation response. This helps to lower the stress hormone cortisol we talked about earlier, promoting a sense of calm. Studies have even shown mindfulness can improve cognitive function and memory. How to try it. Find a comfortable place to sit, either in a chair with your feet on the floor or resting in your bed. Gently close your eyes or, if you prefer, just lower your gaze to the floor. Simply bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then leaving your body. Your mind will wander. That's perfectly okay. When you notice your thoughts have drifted gently and without criticism, just guide your attention back to your breath. Start with just 3 to 5 minutes a day. The consistency is more important than the duration. Modifications for physical limitations. This practice is wonderfully adaptable. If sitting upright is uncomfortable, you can do this lying down. If focusing on the breath feels difficult, you can instead focus on a sound in the room, like the ticking of a clock or the feeling of your hands resting in your lap. The goal is simply to anchor your attention in the present moment. Idea number 2, the daily gratitude anchor. What it is. This is the simple act of intentionally bringing to mind 3 specific things you are grateful for each day. The gentle science. The practice of gratitude is more than just positive thinking. It has measurable effects on our brain and well-being. Research shows that cultivating gratitude can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, improve sleep, lower blood pressure, and even boost our immune system. When we focus on what's good, it activates areas of the brain associated with positive emotions and helps to regulate stress. Studies have shown that a consistent gratitude practice can lead to a significant increase in happiness. How to try it. Choose a consistent time for your practice. Many people find first thing in the morning or right before bed works well. Think of 3 specific things from your day or your life for which you are grateful. The key is specificity. Instead of just my family, and you might think, I'm grateful for the lovely phone call I had with my granddaughter this afternoon. Instead of my home, perhaps, I'm grateful for the way the sun streams through the kitchen window in the morning. You can write them down in a simple notebook, say them out loud, or just hold them in your mind for a moment. The act of acknowledging them is what matters. Modifications for physical limitations. This practice requires no physical exertion. If writing is difficult due to arthritis, simply speaking your gratitudes aloud or sharing them with a loved one is just as powerful. You could even use a simple voice recorder on a phone. Idea number 3, movement as medicine. What it is. This is about finding a form of gentle, enjoyable physical activity and making it a regular part of your day. The gentle science. The connection between physical health and mental well-being is incredibly strong. Exercise releases endorphins, which are often called the brain's feel-good chemicals. Regular physical activity is a proven way to reduce the levels of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. The American Psychological Association notes that exercise can help lower the effects of chronic stress. Studies have shown that even 15 minutes of physical activity a day can improve quality of life and mood for older adults. How to try it. Choose an activity you genuinely enjoy. This could be a walk around the neighborhood, gardening, swimming, dancing in your living room to your favorite music, or a gentle yoga class. Start small. A 10-minute walk is a fantastic beginning. The goal is to build a consistent habit, not to run a marathon. Listen to your body. Some days you will have more energy than others. The key is to move in a way that feels good and supportive, not punishing. Modifications for physical limitations. This is so important. If a walk around the block isn't right for you today, there are countless alternatives. Simply sitting by a sunny window for 10 minutes can provide mood-boosting benefits. Chair yoga and seated stretching exercises are wonderful for maintaining flexibility and getting the blood flowing. Water aerobics is excellent as it supports the joints. Even simple progressive muscle relaxation, tensing and then releasing each muscle group while seated, can help release physical tension. Idea number 4, the purpose project. What it is. This involves finding something, no matter how small, that gives you a sense of purpose and contribution outside of yourself. The gentle science. A sense of purpose is a fundamental human need. After retirement, the feeling of no longer being useful can be a significant source of distress. Finding a new purpose has been shown to have major health benefits, including reducing the risk of cognitive decline and heart disease. A Mayo Clinic report found that volunteering provides both physical and mental health benefits for adults over 60, reducing stress and increasing a sense of well-being. Focusing on others helps shift our perspective from our own worries and connects us to our community. How to try it. Reflect on your skills and passions. What did you love to do before your career took over? What are you good at? Explore opportunities. This doesn't have to be a huge commitment. It could be volunteering at the local library to read to children, helping out at an animal shelter, mentoring a young person in your former field, or joining a community garden. Start with one small step. Perhaps just make a phone call to an organization you admire to ask about their needs. Modifications for physical limitations. Purpose isn't defined by physical ability. If getting out is difficult, you can find purpose from home. Consider becoming a phone buddy for another isolated senior, knitting blankets for a local hospital, or using your life experience to write stories or memoirs to share with your family. Things to welcome and thoughts to let go of. As we weave these new practices into our lives, it's also helpful to think about our mindset. Here are a few thoughts to gently welcome, and a few we can begin to let go of. Things to welcome into your day, a gentle routine. This doesn't need to be rigid, but having a set wake-up time, a time for a morning walk, or a scheduled daily phone call can provide a comforting structure that we often miss from our working lives. Curiosity. Be open to trying new things. Maybe it's a class at the community center, a new recipe, or a different route for your daily walk. Curiosity keeps our minds active and engaged. Social connection. Make it a priority to connect with someone every day. A phone call, a coffee with a neighbor, or a video chat with family can make a world of difference in combating loneliness. Time in nature. Spending even a few minutes outdoors or simply looking out a window at a tree has been shown to lower stress levels and improve mood. Thoughts we can gently let go of. I should be doing more. You have worked for decades. This time is for you. Your worth is not measured by your productivity. Let go of the internal pressure to be busy for the sake of being busy. I am no longer useful. Your usefulness was never tied to your job title. Your wisdom, your experience, and your presence are invaluable to those who love you and to your community. Comparing your retirement to others. Your friend might be traveling the world, while your neighbor is starting a new business. Your journey is your own. Find what brings you joy and meaning, and honor that path. The idea that it's weak to feel down or ask for help. It takes immense strength and self-awareness to acknowledge difficult feelings. It is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. A word on professional support and medication. Sometimes, even with our best efforts, these feelings of irritability and anger can feel too big to manage on our own. And that is perfectly okay. Reaching out for professional support is a courageous and positive step. Many older adults grew up in a time when talking about mental health was taboo. It was often seen as a sign of weakness or something to be ashamed of. Thankfully, those views are changing. We now understand that our mental health is just as important as our physical health. Think of therapy not as a sign that something is wrong, but as a conversation with a professional guide. A therapist can provide a safe space to talk about the challenges of this life transition and offer proven tools and strategies for navigating them. Many seniors are less likely to see a therapist, even when showing clear signs of anxiety or depression, due to this long-held stigma. Let's work together to change that. Similarly, if your doctor suggests medication, it can be helpful to view it as simply another tool to help rebalance things in your body and brain. Just as we might take medication for blood pressure, sometimes medication can help regulate the brain chemicals that affect our mood. This is, of course, a personal medical decision to be made in careful conversation with your doctor, but it is an option that can be incredibly helpful for many. The goal is simply to encourage open, honest conversations with your healthcare partners. You deserve to feel well in both body and mind, connecting with purpose and legacy. Underneath the surface of irritability often lies a deeper question about meaning. When our primary role for so many years as an employee, a boss, a provider, comes to an end, it's natural to wonder, what is my purpose now? Connecting with a renewed sense of purpose is one of the most powerful antidotes to feelings of frustration and aimlessness. This isn't about grand, world-changing gestures. Purpose is often found in the quiet, meaningful connections we make and the wisdom we share. It's about recognizing that your life experience is a treasure. You are a living library of stories, skills, and lessons learned. So I invite you to spend a little time reflecting on these questions. You might want to write your thoughts in a journal, ponder them on your next walk, or discuss them with a loved one. 1. What is one piece of wisdom you've learned in your life that you would love to share with your children or grandchildren? How could you share it? Perhaps by writing a letter, recording a short video, or simply telling them. 2. Think about a skill you have. It could be anything from baking bread, to fixing a leaky faucet, to balancing a checkbook, to identifying birds. Who in your life or your community could benefit from learning that skill from you? 3. What was a hobby or interest that brought you joy in your younger years, before life got so busy? What would it feel like to reconnect with that interest, even in a small way? 4. What is a cause in your community or the world that you care deeply about? What is one small action you could take this week to support it? Answering these questions helps us shift our focus from what we have lost in retirement to what we have to give. And in that giving, we often find our greatest sense of fulfillment and peace. Looking forward with hope. We've talked about so many ideas today, and it might feel like a lot to take in. So how do we begin to weave these practices into the fabric of our daily lives without feeling overwhelmed? The secret is to start small. I like to call it the power of just one thing. Instead of trying to start a gratitude journal and a meditation practice and a daily walking routine all at once, choose just one thing that resonated with you today. Maybe tomorrow you'll try the 5-minute mindful moment. That's it. Just that one thing. Another helpful strategy is to attach a new habit to an old one. For example, you might decide, after I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will think of my 3 things to be grateful for. The coffee is the trigger for the new habit, making it much easier to remember. Most importantly, please be gentle with yourself. There will be days when you feel irritable. There will be days you forget to take your walk or do your breathing exercise. That's not failure. That's just being human. Every single day is a new opportunity. There is no such thing as falling behind on this journey. It's a path of discovery, and the only goal is to walk it with kindness toward yourself. Our takeaway for today. So what is our takeaway from our conversation today? First, that feeling more irritable or angry in this chapter of life is a common, understandable experience. It's not a character flaw. It's often a signal from our bodies and minds that something needs our gentle attention, be it physical discomfort, loneliness, or a search for new purpose. Second, We have incredible power to shape our days and our emotional well-being through small, gentle practices like mindfulness, gratitude, movement, and connecting with our purpose. We can actively cultivate a sense of peace and joy. We can even help our brains build new, more positive pathways. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, remember this. Your worth isn't tied to your old job title or your former responsibilities. It is inherent in who you are right now in this moment. You have a lifetime of wisdom, resilience, and love within you. This time is a gift, and you have everything you need to shape it beautifully. An invitation to our community. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. It truly is a privilege to have these conversations with you. If this was helpful, we would be so grateful if you would press the like button. It helps us know that these topics are valuable to you, and we invite you to subscribe and join our wonderful community of fellow retirees here at Life After Work. We are all navigating this journey together, and now we would love to hear from you. In the comments below, please feel free to share. What is one small thing that brought you joy this week? Reading through your responses is one of the highlights of our week. It's a beautiful reminder of all the good that surrounds us. Until next time, be well, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you again right here on Life After Work.